Hi everyone, Sailor Venus here, Sailor Hellworld Mina here, and Artemis here. And today we're going to make a film talking about the Irwin doll stands again. Why? Because it's just something I want to talk about. So, you know how Irwin Toy made the stands, right? Well, if you have dolls that got boots on, great. No bind there. They'll fit. They'll go on. They'll hold them up. But if you got dolls that have high heel shoes on or shoes on, well, forget about that. It will not work. The dolls wearing shoes will not even fit in the stands without fighting them or wrestling them to get into it. If they got high heel shoes, they'll either go in the stand but be crooked, or they'll just fall over. And I know there's going to be someone out there that says, oh, I don't think those stands were ever meant for those dolls. Well, if that was true, then why would Irwin give you a stand with the dolls if they were never meant for those kind of dolls? Was it a mistake? Did someone working in the settled land, someone working in, I don't know, Eastland, the Irwin Toy owned a business down there that was making the dolls for them? Did someone make a mistake and say, oops, I think I made a mistake with the doll stands with the high heel shoes. Should I make a little more smaller? Well, they're like, whatever. It's not like the folks buying these dolls in the settled land, the 4-1 Reichs, are going to care. And by now, they know everything's being made cheap. Or whatever their forgiveness was for not making the stands right. It's so sad. I mean, it's like you got the stand. It comes with the doll. What is it like? You got to work the stand. It comes with the doll. I mean, we have bloody stands. One for boots, one for high heel shoes, one for shoes. We don't know which one came with her. And it wasn't like I had all the time to take all the stands out and start putting myself in them and say, like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. When she eats the food and one's too hot, one's too warm, one's too cold, one's only right, And the same thing about the seats and the same thing about the beds. It's like that. And I got to seek the one that's, made only right for my feet. And let's be earnest about that. You could guilt it on Bandai. But guess what? Bandai wasn't making the stands either. It was Irwin that was making the stands, so whatever. I mean, it's so sad. Here I am in an Irwin doll stand that was made, between 95 YL, or we'll say 2000 or 2001 YL. And you would think that stand would hold me up without me falling over or being crooked or something. As almost if they didn't know how to make doll stands to go against wakefulness. And someone might say, oh, well, it's the wrong kind of board out. You got the wrong kind of boards outside. Yeah, apparently the glass ones don't work. Apparently the wood ones are bad. Yeah, like that kind of bullshit, huh? It's like I gotta be leaning up against something just so I can be in a stand. You got something to say about these bloody stands, Artemis? Oh, yeah, Mina. Yeah, Sailor Venus, Sailor Hellworld. I mean, the doll stands made by Irwin Toy from between 95 YL to 2000 and 2001 YL were badly made. So if you had a doll that came with, I don't know, boots, then, it was going to work. And a lot of them do wear boots. But some of them don't. So if you got a doll that had high heel shoes on, or a doll that had shoes on and not boots, well, then the stand was going to be worthless. It wasn't going to work. And I know there's going to be a lot of folks out there. They're going to come up with all kinds of forgivenesses, grounds, sake or why they believe it's not working. Or why they believe that the doll stand can't hold her up. And you're going to see there's a lot of folks who have gotten the Irwin Bandai dolls that were made by Irwin and later on. And you're going to see they got them in their stands, but then they're leaning up against the wall. So even they have a hard, so even the doll gatherers have a hard time getting the stands to work. So it's not only me, I guess. And I don't know why making doll stands, at least for high heel shoes, was just something that Irwin just wasn't good at. It's like, all right, 9 between 95 YL, Bandai gives Irwin the rights to start making, Toei gives Irwin the right to start making the Sailor Moon dolls right beside Bandai. So then Irwin says, don't worry, we can make those dolls. And from 9 between 95 or 2001 YL, they make the dolls, they make the sticks, the shape-shifting sticks, they make whatever, they make the clothing, they make the dolls, everything. Boom, they're good at that. Then he's like, well, we got to make stands now. They're like, well, we don't know how to make doll stands with dolls that wear high heel shoes. Well, fuck, how do you make them? They don't know how to make them. They're like, look, it should fit. And it doesn't. It falls fucking over. Falls over. And they go, oh, well, it's not our bind anymore. And they put it in the box and either gets flown or shipped or sailed or flown or whatever, over to the settled land, to the 4-1 Reichs. And once it passes, everything is good. Then it goes sent to the shops, whatever shop need be, and then someone buys it and brings it home and either takes it out of the box and either plays with it or whatever. They either put it in the stand and then it falls over. Yeah. Sad. You're telling me about it, Artemis. It is so sad that if you're a doll wearing high heel shoes, which half of the outers and half of the inners are, and half of the foes are, then yeah, it's a bind. It's so bloody shameful. I mean, and I know I made this film before, and I know there's a lot of doll gatherers out there, Sailor Moon doll gatherers, whatever, who dealt with this bind. And I know someone's going to say, oh, well, you got to keep in mind that doll stand's old now. Hey, I don't care how old a doll stand gets. It should always hold a doll up. I think it's in the bind of the doll. I think Irwin didn't know how to make the dolls wearing high heel shoes, lean right. They're like, we don't know how to do it. And it's the right kind of stand, too. Because there's only 2 kinds of stands you get. Stand for boots and stand for shoes. And if you got to stand for shoes, well, fuck, it ain't going to work. It's so bloody shameful. And at this time, well, we know Irwin Toy has been shut down since 2002 YL though, so I can't really hold them answerable for any of it. And Bandai, yeah, they're still around. But if I wanted to hold someone answerable at Bandai Vinland, they'd say, oh, yeah, but you know what? You're talking about those old doll stands that Irwin made? Well, we make all kinds of Sailor Moon dolls now. And some of their stands work more flawlessly than the stands that Irwin made. So sorry those stands that Irwin made back in the day were not so good. So, yeah. It's really sad that, it's sad that where, you think the doll stands are made right. It's not. Irwin Toy didn't know how to make, doll stands for shoes right. They knew how to make stands for boots, but if they wore shoes, forget about it. Well, okay, that comes to the end of this film. So, do you have the same bind with the Irwin doll stands for shoes that we do? Let us know. I, Sailor Venus, Sailor Hailworld Mina, and I, Artemis, will see you later.